Welcome to the Complete Story Series, where I take trade paperbacks and single issues and I break them down into digestible bites to help you understand. Then I read them dramatically back to you, all alterations, to the panels, text and images, are to prevent copyright problems, and all art is owned by its respective companies. Amanda Waller knows that there is evil in the world that exists. She also knows that anything worthwhile requires sacrifice, and if these new threats have a price to be paid in order to protect the innocent, well, she's content with that. As Amanda arrives at Belle Reve Penitentiary, Colonel Rick Flagg, Suicide Squad field commander, reports that the scum are ready to serve America. She tells him that she's glad to hear it, so go ahead and release the freaks. Katana disengages the cell locks, and one by one, the portable cells are brought to ground level. Boomerang, Harley, Killer Croc, Deadshot, and June Moon enter the room. And Amanda tells everyone, "All right, criminal filth, your country needs you." And Harley shouts, "Yeah, I love my country." A short while later, in space, Amanda goes over the mission briefing. Hackers have picked up intel that a cosmic item came down to Earth landing in Siberia. Some of the items picked up on the transmissions referred to it as a cosmic item of immense power and a game-changing weapon. So their mission will be to head into a heavily guarded rogue Russian prison that is beneath the Laptev Sea to locate this item. The goal is either to steal or destroy the cosmic weapon and ensure that the Russian rogue state does not have it. And for those making a break for it, their heads will blow up in the most literal sense. You see, if you're a member of the Suicide Squad, you have a bomb implanted in your neck, so that kind of keeps you in line. The spacecraft then releases the lock, and the pod sitting all 7 members begins to descend back down to Earth. As the pod rockets back to the planet, Croc tells everyone that he's not feeling so good, and that he throws up in his spacesuit. Harley watches fascinated because Croc is about to drown in his own space helmet, with what she can only presume are hot dogs. Rick tells Amanda that he's going to disengage to release Croc's helmet. Amanda tells him to stay seated, but Rick tells her that he already lost his last squad, and though he doesn't care what these people have done in the past, it is his job to bring them home. Rick releases from his suit and he makes his way over to Croc to release his helmet, but in doing so, he set off the balance of the pod. The pod begins to break while entering the atmosphere, and Rick tells June that she needs to let her out. June says that she doesn't want to, but Rick tells her that if she doesn't change into her, they will die, and she will die. Suddenly a green light shines as Enchantress shouts, "Yes!" And the pod goes crashing into the ice below. As Amanda is watching all of this happening, she tells the woman next to her that she's wondering why the NSA felt like sending someone like her to the prison to deliver mission intel. The woman tells her not to judge a book by its cover. She should know that all too well. But Amanda can call her Harcourt, and she requested to be up here because she's a fan and she wanted to watch the Suicide Squad in action. But it seems that she is watching the Suicide Squad die firsthand. Amanda says that they are scumbags, but they are resourceful scumbags, so I have some faith. Katana exits her spacesuit to help release Harley and Croc, while Rick, Deadshot, and Boomerang all ride on a stray rocket that broke off of the pod. Boomerang says that the trajectory is right, release the rocket! And Deadshot lets go and the rocket jets forward and then back and then forward again, crashing into the facility. Deadshot asks if he just boomeranged a rocket, and Boomerang shouts, "I'll boomerang anything!" The pressure from the hole sucks the 3 men in, and Boomerang then asks if Rick is dead. He's gotta be dead. That's at least something out of this. Rick tells him, "I'm not dead," and Boomerang says, "Ah, knickers." Seconds later, a claw begins to rip open the side of the facility, and Boomerang shouts that it's the big alien from Alien! Croc pulls himself in with Katana, June, and Harley tells everyone that it turns out Croc's a surprisingly good swimmer. Who knew? But before anyone can recover, bullets begin to rain down from the guards above, and Croc throws Katana and Harley at them. The two make their way through, killing all of the guards, and Harley asks Katana if she's read any good books lately. Maybe seen any good films? But as they kill the last remaining guards, Katana doesn't respond. And Harley says, "I guess I'll take that as a no." Before Katana can kill the last guard, a boomerang flies through the air and Boomerang shouts, "You're welcome!" Harley then shouts, "You're good with boomerangs, we get it!" After the guards are done, the team moves out and they open up a door to find a girl waiting. Rick tells her that he's from the United States and they've come here to rescue her. He is told that she has the ability to help them find something in exchange for her freedom. The girl says that they can call her Hack, and the cell had a dampening field in place so that she couldn't. And then she stops and shouts, "I am a huge fan of Harley!" Harley looks at her and tells her, "Prepare to hear from my image rights attorneys." Rick then asks how is she supposed to help them get to the Black Vault, and Hack says that she's about to convert them into digital information and transport them. It's gonna feel bad. Soon the group begins to rematerialize in another location, and everyone's eyes turn to the orb floating in front of them. Hack scans some files and says that there are reports of strange voices coming out of that thing. Does the Phantom Zone mean anything to anyone? Rick realizes what it could be and he tells everyone to get away, and then Boomerang looks at it and says that he sees something moving. Suddenly, a blast fires out of the orb, and all that's left of Boomerang are his boots. Hands begin ripping open the orb, and a voice says, "At last, all those who are here, subjugate yourself before your general. Kneel before Zod." Zod tears open the orb, and he begins blasting away at everything in sight. Rick and Deadshot begin firing back at him, and Deadshot mentions that this guy is a Krypton. Bullets are going to be very ineffective. Rick says that the bullets are supposed to get his attention, and Zod looks over, stating, "You want to get the general's attention? Now you have it!" Zod fires a blast at the two of them, and Harley says that she thinks him being locked up in prison for so long has made him crazy. If only she could relate. June decides to let the Enchantress free, and she jumps towards Zod ready to cast her magic, but as she gets closer, Zod grabs Croc and throws him at her. Hack tells Harley that she's gonna need some cover. She's almost done collecting all of the data, and Harley jumps up shouting, "Harley Quinn reporting for duty. Specialist subject, get the hell out of here. Bye." Zod swings towards Hack, but before he can get a hit in, Katana stops him with her sword. And Zod then asks, "How?" And Katana tells him, "Magic." Zod releases a blast, and Katana blocks it with her sword and then slashes away at Zod's chest. As Harley runs away from the fight, she begins to think about how maybe she can steal a submarine and get the heck out of here. And that's when suddenly a lot of guards begin running in her direction. She turns around and shouts, "My beloved teammates, I will absolutely stand with you until death." She runs back towards the fight and tells Deadshot that the guards kinda have more guns than them. She should know, she just heroically went to go check for them. Hack calls out that she's located a munitions cabinet hidden in the wall, and that a container opens up with several heavy-powered weapons. Both Harley and Deadshot run back to the oncoming guards, equipped with several big guns. Deadshot tells Rick that he's creating the exit strategy that he didn't seem to come up with, so they might want to get the super lunatic back into the sphere. Harley looks down the hall and says that it looks like we have a few more guys left, and then Harley sees who they are. Deadshot then reports that he just discovered who this prison belongs to, the Annihilation Brigade. Deadshot says that they're Russian metahumans, and then a blast rips through the hallway. Back at Belle Reve, Amanda watches as the video feed is cut off. She then says that it sounded like Deadshot said metahumans, and whoever is behind this place under the sea is stockpiling cosmic items and super villains. It sounds a lot like, and Harcourt finishes it stating, a Russian version of the Suicide Squad. Based on the satellite images being pixelated on the location, it would seem that they are now jamming them, but Putin and company don't have that kind of tech, so who are they stealing it from? Harcourt says that all they have is a code named Carla, and since they didn't know who they were up against, that's why they needed Task Force X to find out. Amanda's face begins to turn rather angry, and she says, "If you killed my people." And Harcourt says that the intel was solid. Besides, they are the Suicide Squad. They are expendable. Back in the prison, Zod continues to overpower the remaining team members, and then he turns his attention towards June Moon. June begs him not to, but before he can do anything, Croc jumps in, biting down on Zod's arm. He begins chopping away at Zod's elbow, and then using his other fist, Zod just begins punching into Croc's head. After the last punch, Zod launches Croc away, crashing him into the hallway where the Annihilation Brigade is. Harley shouts, "Yeah, for Croc, he's so talented!" But before long, Zod goes back to ripping everything apart. Hack tells Rick to give her a minute, she should be able to save them, and Zod looks back at Colonel Rick Flag, telling him, "Bring me to your general. Bring me your alpha so I can do what I did to your friend." Rick stares at him, stating, "You killed Boomerang, one of my people," and he charges forward. As the two of them run at each other, Rick shouts to Katana as she throws her sword. Rick grabs a hold of it and he slams it into Zod's chest, and then the Phantom Zone orb begins to grab Zod. Hack says that he's resisting it, but Rick kicks Zod off, pushing him into it. He begins to scream, "You will all pay for this!" But his screams soon begin to fade away. But before the team can enjoy their victory, out of the back of the room, the Annihilation Brigade begins to charge in. Deadshot shouts, "I politely ask again about the freaking exit strategy." Hack says not to worry, she's their exit, and the team is then pulled back into the computers. Within seconds, the team all rematerializes back at Belle Reve. Harley Quinn looks around stating, "Belle Reve? We're back in Belle Reve!" Nuts. Amanda tells the team welcome home. They all just traversed via the internet. Rick says that he lost one, and Amanda tells him that that's why they are the Suicide Squad. She then turns back to Hack, asking if the Kryptonian is in there. She tells her yes. All she could tell was that the black sphere was a portal to something called the Phantom Zone, and it's stable. For now. After the team leave, Amanda asks Harcourt if she knows what the Phantom Zone is. She says that she does. They've had their top people on it for a long time. Amanda then tells her that she might want to get them down here. Her Suicide Squad just stole one big cosmic item for America. So what do they want to do with it? And this resolves the first half of the Suicide Squad storyline. Now the second half, before we get to Justice League vs. Suicide Squad, is all about Harley Quinn becoming sane again. So that's another interesting tale that you're about to hear very soon. Hope you guys enjoyed this. Let me know in the comments down below what you think about the Suicide Squad. Subscribe to the channel to stay up to date on your favorite comic books. And don't forget to give this video a like while following me on Twitter and Instagram. I know I ask a lot of things, but it's all I'm asking for. Nothing more. Nothing more.